NBA fans, welcome back to the channel, to the series of 30 teams in 30 days. Let's just not waste any time, get right into it, huh? If you're new to the series, welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's just join the community. We can talk basketball. That's all I do, so I like to do it with friends. All right, so if you're new to the 30 teams in 30 days series, let me break it down to you real quick. We're going to draft their grade. We're going to draft their free agency period. We're going to talk about their roster, their rotation. I'm not going to talk about every player on the goddamn team, so please don't go into typing in the comments like, oh, Greg, you forgot. Yeah, I know. We're doing it on purpose. After the roster, I'm going to talk about 3 remaining questions that I have for this team coming up next year. Then we're going to talk about an overall grade of their offseason. I'm going to give you an evaluation as to why I made that grade. And then, a new part of this series, I'm going to break down their new city jersey. And today, the basketball gods were in my favor because I have the Houston Rockets. Before we do anything, though, we gotta crack open the energy, the morning coffee. Oh, you hear that? I mean, yeah, that's how it's done. All right, so the Houston Rockets had the 52nd pick in this last draft, right? They didn't have a lot of draft capital because Daryl Morey, is notoriously known for trading all of it. They got Kenyon Martin Jr., which is awesome, first of all, because I loved his dad. I don't really know too much about Kenyon Martin Jr. I do know, I think he wants to go by KJ Martin, which to you, KJ Martin, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to call you Kenyon Martin Jr. I gave the draft a C+. From what I've read, it was a decent acquisition at 52. He could probably contribute, maybe not this year, maybe this year, who knows. Excuse me. But I'm excited to see Kenyon Martin's kid. Also, I'm pretty sure he signed like a 4-year deal, and the first year was guaranteed. So, I mean, clearly they have intentions on keeping him, or they think he's somewhat good. So, C+ for the Houston Rockets on the draft. It just wasn't a lot. Free agency was kind of crazy. They signed Christian Wood to an awesome deal. They got Jayshawn Tate from Sydney, the Sydney Kings. Apparently, he's quite a baller. I think he's going to be okay. I mean, he hasn't really... Maybe he'll be like a role player, end of the bench type deal. And, of course, they got Boogie DeMarcus Cousins, right? I mean, I made this video yesterday, but obviously something happened last night that I'm like, all right, well, shit, now I have to make a brand new Houston Rockets video. And that is the fact that they traded Russell Westbrook for John Wall and a first-round pick. Now, I made a video on this yesterday. My initial reaction was like, all right, it's a super lateral move, though I really... do like the move. Sorry, I'm getting a call on my phone. I don't know what that is. Though I do like the move on Houston's part. One, Russell Westbrook was not fitting. You don't get... The guy's not good anymore. He deserves to be on the Knicks. No offense to the Knicks, but offense to the Knicks at the same time. Russell Westbrook is not a winner. Now, do I think John Wall is that much better of a player? No. But I think an atmospherical change, climate change for the both of them could work out in favor. Also, we got a first-round pick in that, which who knows if it's protected, unprotected. We'll see. I have no idea. But I really like the move. I just think John Wall is a better player than Russell Westbrook. That is 2009 John Wall, because God knows what he's like anymore. It's been so long, which I thought the move was so weird, because I'm like, Washington, you wait 2 years for the guy finally to get healthy, and 3 weeks away from finally having a healthy John Wall and Bradley Beal, then you trade him. Something's fishy. Something's really fishy. Washington just probably thinks like, he's not the same type of guy that he was, which is understandable. He just, broke or tore, whatever the heck it was. So hopefully John Wall can come back. I think it's a really good asset, a really good pickup for them though. Not really good, but I think it's a good pickup. I think it's getting rid of Russell Westbrook and getting something in return is awesome. And to get something in return that has all-star ability and a first-round pick, that's a great move. I gave that trade a B+ for Houston. I like that a lot. So they lost Robert Covington, Jeff Green, Austin Rivers, and other role players. They traded Rocco for 2 first-rounders, right? And then they traded that 16th pick that they got for Rocco and swapped it as an assign and trade for Christian Wood, which I really like. So basically they traded Robert Covington for Christian Wood in the first rounder. That's a deal that you do a lot of the time. A lot of the time. I like that a lot. Free agency, I gave him an A. I thought Houston did an awesome free agency. I would probably even give it an A+ now with the Russell Westbrook out of there. So their roster's looking like John Wall at the 1, James Harden at the 2. People got to remember, too, John Wall is a much better facilitator than Russell Westbrook was. He's a better player to play alongside stars than Russell Westbrook is. So you got John Wall, James Harden, Daniel House Jr. at the 3, Christian Wood at the 4, DeMarcus Cousins at the 5. Probably. You could also probably roll out a 5 of DeMarcus Cousins on the bench, Christian Wood starting at center, and then PJ Tucker at the 4. So it would be like John Wall, James Harden, Daniel House, PJ Tucker, and Christian Wood. That could be a more modernized NBA roster, starting 5 there. But hopefully, I think Boogie has a bounce back year. I think Houston has a lot of question marks, especially when it comes to health. But I think they have an ability to be a pretty good team this year. Their bench is either PJ Tucker or DeMarcus Cousins. They have Eric Gordon, Ben McLemore, who had revamped his career last year. I love Ben McLemore. Chris Clemens, Short King, stand up. Gerald Green. They're not the deepest of teams, but they're still athletic. They're very wing heavy on the bench. They could probably use a backup big man or 2, like an actual backup big man. PJ Tucker's not a big man. I hate to be the one to break it to you guys, but dude's not a big man. Just because you put a guy at the 5 doesn't mean he's a 5. 3 questions I have remaining for this team. How long... Wow. I just noticed that my question was, how long will Harden and Westbrook remain on the team? Well, like 4 hours was the answer for Russell Westbrook. So now, I guess my question is, how long will James Harden remain on the Houston Rockets? I don't think they're going to move on from him, but... I don't know. I don't think they're going to move on from him, but right now the Houston Rockets, wouldn't surprise me if they traded him. I'd probably be surprised. Number 2, with the small ball era done with, is this team better suited for the playoffs now than they were last year, maybe the year before? Personally, I think they are. Don't get me wrong, I don't think having big, heavy teams is the way in the NBA, but at the same time, not having a big man anywhere near your roster is not successful either. I don't think small ball worked, obviously. And I like how they're transitioning away from it, and they're doing it pretty smooth. I think Christian Wood's a really, really good fit in Houston. I think stretch 4, stretch 5 for them. He could have an all-star type season. Probably not with Harden on the team, though, so maybe not. Number 3, if they start winning, if they start having a really good year, if they just start being the Houston Rockets of old, is James Harden going to completely change his mind on wanting to leave? And then it makes you think about that contract extension that he turned down. Because the way I see it is I think Houston, I'm going to just go out right now, tell you where I expect them and predict them to be. I think they're going to be a top 7 team in the West. I probably see them around 6 right now. That's not bad, especially in a deep West right now. The West is really good. The NBA is really good right now. Like, the East isn't bad either. It's deeper than it's been in a while. The West is just always really good. You know, I think NBA is just really competitive right now, which is awesome to see. But I don't know if Harden will want to leave. Knowing James Harden, he'll probably still want to be in a new city. That's just the way NBA superstars are nowadays, so who knows. But overall, before the trade last night, I gave them a B. Right now, I'm probably leaning towards an A-. Don't get me wrong, the John Wall deal, his contract is still not good, but I just love the way they kind of moved on from Daryl Morey and D'Antoni without, like, they're kind of rebuilding because they're getting draft picks, they're getting assets, but at the same time, they're staying competitive. And that's impressive. Like, I think I've been really impressed by the Houston Rockets offseason this year. They have been surprisingly good, surprisingly competent. I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot, maybe I'm wrong, maybe this team's going to be out of the playoff spot, but I liked it. I think what they did was awesome, so I'm going to go A- on their what do you call it, offseason. They had no draft capital either, so getting younger was going to be difficult from the start, but I think Christian Wood was a really good deal. DeMarcus Cousins has a lot to prove. That could really work. They became a better team. I think they're more talented this year than they were last year. The John Wall for Russell Westbrook is phenomenal. I love that. I hope nothing but the best for John Wall, dude. His story is remarkable. He just seems like a class act in every interview I've ever seen of him. So I hope nothing but the best for him. And now let's talk their jerseys, right? So yesterday was crazy. I found a leak of the jersey that is officially dropped today for the Houston Rockets. I found it yesterday in Spanish. And it's like, oh, Houston Rockets, terra unifor alternativo predimina. The longest Spanish word I've ever seen. I'm not even gonna try to say it. But what I was saying was like, wow, this is going to be a 10 out of 10. Now that I see the whole jersey, because it was just the shorts yesterday. Now that I see the uniform, the whole top, sign me up for some Houston Rockets ESPN games with James Harden, with John Wall in that swaggy baby blue H-Town uniform. Oh my God. This is my weak spot when it comes to fashion, when it comes to uniforms, is blue, but it's like that baby blue color, like the UNC uniforms. And the fact that the Houston Rockets, this isn't even their primary color, it's not even their secondary color, they kind of just pulled it out of a rabbit's hat. I am on board for it. I think it's absolutely sweet. I hope they can make a transition into using this color more often. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I think it's just so fire. I love the H-Town design always. Houston has such a cool opportunity to make cool jerseys, yet their like actual jerseys are usually pretty terrible. I hate the Houston Rockets like logo. It's awful. It gets so just bland and ugly. Like, it was way cooler when Yao Ming was on the team, like the early 2000s. But now it's just like, what are you doing? But this baby blue jersey is awesome. 10 out of 10. So that's enough for this video. I think I've talked your ear off enough. Until next time, go Sixers. Like and subscribe. I don't know what else to say. If you don't subscribe, I'm not going to be really mad, but I'm going to talk a lot of shit on you and low-key be really mad at you. So let's just get to 500. Let's build the community. Let's talk basketball. Throw some comments in the comment section. Let me know like what videos you guys want to see. I could talk about anything. Peace out. Go Sixers.